begin this afternoon with new information in Governor Gretchen Whitmer's controversial trip to Florida in March. Thank you for joining us for 7 Action News at 5. I'm Glenda Lewis.
And I'm Alan Campbell. An attorney for the governor's campaign committee responded about who paid for the trip and who was on that flight. Here's what we know. That flight cost $27,521. Security was on board with the governor and the governor's daughter, but her daughter was only on the return flight.
And we also learned that the payment was changed from a nonprofit controlled by the governor to her campaign fund because of FAA rules. The governor was under a deadline set by the Michigan House Oversight Committee, which had asked 43 questions or could have had her testify before the committee.
Jim Kurtzner has more on what the governor is now saying and where this goes from here with the committee chairman.
The governor has repeatedly said that she was keeping the information about these trips limited because of security, including last year that plot to kidnap and kill her by 14 men. Here's the letter that the governor is now answering questions to the committee chair, and I can tell you both of them, both sides, vehemently disagree on what the governor has done.
And what we have heard at this point is the governor is admitting that she did break the law twice.
Everything was done according to the law. We followed all the ethics rules. We wanted to be very clear, and that's precisely what I think that letter represents.
We now know that the governor had 2 private jet trips earlier this year. One in March was provided by PVS Chemicals and the Nicholson family for the trip to visit the governor's ailing father in Florida. The Nicholsons are known as prominent Republican donors. And now the jet trip in January was provided by Solomon Plumbing for the governor to fly to the Biden inauguration. According to this letter from an attorney with the Whitmer campaign, Whitmer flight to Florida was March 12th through the 15th. She flew down with a security detail, but that was not spelled out. She flew back with her daughters and that security.
They did not go into the specifics of that, which I understand they want to keep some details of security confidential.
The payment to PVS was for $27,521. It was from a nonprofit Michigan Transition at first, but now from the Whitmer for Governor campaign. That's consistent with FAA rules for that private jet that is not a charter. A conservative group also made a complaint to the IRS.
And now she is going to rectify that by paying for them through her campaign account instead of this shady nonprofit group instead.
The Whitmer flight to Washington, January 19th through the 21st. A payment to Solomon Plumbing for $22,670 from the Whitmer for Governor campaign. No other details were provided.
It sounded like the governor reached out and asked for use of the plane. And what they have told us is when the governor asks, you don't say no.
We made a good faith effort to reply to the chairman's questions.
Now, we contacted PVS and Solomon Plumbing about their providing these 2 jets. We did not hear back. Glenda and Ellen, we're going to have much more next hour at 6, including the unanswered from that list of 43 questions not answered in this letter. Could the governor be compelled to testify? We'll see with that next hour. Back to you.
Transparency important. Jim, thank you for the update. Alan.